Hi, good evening. Assalamu alaikum, guys, and welcome back to our ELA Specimen paper series. I do apologize for the very lengthy delay. Miss Naila was not able to record the videos because of some other commitments that she has at this point in time, but she did provide me with the solutions a while ago. But I myself have been a bit busy, right? So hopefully you still have enough time now between the next few days to just go through this, right? I know you will have done it already in school and possibly in your lessons, classes, and so on. So this is just a little quick review and maybe something you might have missed or forgotten along the way. It might be brought to your attention once more, right? So here is task one, which is about spelling, right? There is one incorrectly spelled word in each line. Draw a circle around the incorrectly spelled word. Write the correctly spelled word in the box provided for each line. So the passage reads, the COVID-19 is a vicious respiratory illness that is transmitted through microbes in saliva when an infected person coughs. Protection is possible if one uses a mask and sterilizes one's hands frequently. When sanitizing, use water and antiseptic soap. Their effectiveness can help one achieve good hygiene. All right, so these misspellings are just jumping out at the screen there at me, but I'm just going to show you what Ms. Naila provided me with, right? Since she is the expert in this arena, right? So the COVID-19 is a vicious respiratory illness, right? So the word vicious is incorrectly spelled. That should be VICIOUS. Okay, transmitted in the second line should have two T's before the E, right? Transmitted. The word protection, wow, this is just a horribly spelled version of the word protection, right? It's not SH, but TION. Okay, we have frequently, not frequently, which is what is spelled here on the paper, right? While sanitizing, there should be no E after this S here, right? So the sanitizing is incorrectly spelled. And achieve here, we have to have the I coming before the E here after the H, right? Achieve. And that is it, guys. That is very easy. I'm sure if you got this in your SCA paper, you would be smiling from ear to ear, right? So let's move on to the next task. Okay, guys, so we're on to task two, which is punctuation and capitalization. Some punctuation marks and capital letters have been left out in the passage below. There is one mistake in every line. Write the missing punctuation mark or capital letter. So unlike spelling, where we can sometimes have these glaring spelling mistakes that hopefully everyone will catch, especially if you've been revising your spelling and so on, right? Sometimes punctuation and capitalization can slip under the radar, right? So we have to be a little extra careful in this task, in my opinion, right? So let's read the passage and then we'll put in the missing punctuation and capitalization. So the passage reads, what an exceptional gift. My long-awaited, delightful video game, Adventures Within the Nylon Pool, was finally here. I looked happily at the contents of the package: bubble wrap, gaming console, power cord, and instruction manual. Excitedly, I inserted the plug in the outlet. As soon as the game was powered up, I yelled to myself, let the games begin. Okay, so let's have a look at the solutions Ms. Naila provided. So what an exceptional gift, right? This is clearly something that is being exclaimed here, right? So something that we would have to punctuate with a exclamation point. My long-awaited, delightful video game, Adventures Within the Nylon Pool, right? So the title of the game was correctly placed within inverted commas. However, only the first inverted commas were put in and not the second one, right? So that has to be put in, was finally here. I looked happily at the contents of the package, and the contents of the package are going to follow. So this is a list, right? So therefore, a colon is used here before a list. Bubble wrap, gaming console, power cord, and instruction manual. And we notice in line 10, between gaming console and power cord, there is a comma, right? There should be a comma there. And instruction manual. So the comma separates the different items on the list until we get to the last one where the word and is used, right? Excitedly, I inserted the plug in the outlet, right? So there was a full stop missing there, and well, excitedly, I inserted the plug in the outlet is clearly a full sentence. And also, they began the word as with a capital letter. So that is another dead giveaway that we have to use a full stop or period here, right? So as soon as the game was powered up, I yelled to myself, let the games begin, right? So that is a direct quotation there, and it's a full sentence as well. So therefore, the L in let needs to be capitalized. All right, guys, so not too bad, this punctuation and capitalization, but of course, it's very easy for some of these things to slip under the radar. So we have to be particularly careful, right? The good thing that we have going for us is we know that there is one error on each line, right? So we have to be able to locate that error. So that will sort of force your hand there in being a little more vigilant about all of the missed punctuation and capitalization. All right, so now we move on to task 3. Okay, guys, so we're on to task 3, which is grammar, right? So you'll find that it's the intensity or the difficulty is getting ever more, right? So from spelling, which isn't too bad in my opinion, then you have the punctuation and capitalization, which can be a little trickier. And then you have grammar, where you really have to know your stuff here, right? So there's one grammar error in every line in the passage below. Place a circle around each error and write the correct form of the word in the box provided. So again, I'll read the passage and then we'll look at Miss Naila's answers. So neither the students nor the coach were able to explain their success. They had struggled to find a sponsor with their uniforms and couldn't locate a field on whom to practice. So eventually everything came together. Their victory, in addition to their publicity, were almost unbelievable, too much to bear, but they began believing. All right, so sometimes it helps to just read through everything, because as you look at it as a whole, as opposed to just looking at these lines individually, then things start to sort of pop out right at you, things that sound like they aren't sounding too correct, although sometimes something that's grammatically incorrect can sound correct too, yeah? But we still advise you to read through everything, get a general feel or sense for the passage, as that tends to help with getting the grammatical errors. So let's look at Miss Naila's solution here now. Neither the students nor the coach was able to explain. So when you have two subjects separated by neither nor, the verb would agree with the subject that is closest to it. So the coach was, right? So neither the students nor the coach was able to explain their success. They had struggled to find a sponsor with their uniforms. No, it should be they had struggled to find a sponsor for their uniforms. All right, so the wrong preposition was used there, and couldn't locate a field on whom to practice. So the field is not a person, so therefore that's the wrong relative pronoun. We would use which, and couldn't locate a field on which to practice. So eventually everything came together. So despite that, right, remember they're having problems here. They're struggling to find a sponsor. They couldn't locate a field on which to practice. But everything came together, right? So the meaning that should be conveyed here is, but eventually everything came together, not so eventually. It's not as a consequence of all of these difficulties, things came together. It's in spite of that, right? So, so is incorrect here. It should be but. So, but is the correct conjunction to be used in this case. Their victory, in addition to their publicity, will almost, no, it should be was almost. So in addition to their publicity is an intervening phrase, right? But the verb here will agree with the subject, their victory, which comes before the intervening phrase. So their victory was almost unbelievable, too much to bear. No, was almost unbelievably too much to bear, right? So they have here an adjective where it should be an adverb, right? It's unbelievably too much to bear, but they began believing. So now let's read the passage with all of the correct grammar, and we'll see how much better it reads and how much more sense it makes than it did before, right? So neither the students nor the coach was able to explain their success. They had struggled to find a sponsor for their uniforms and couldn't locate a field on which to practice. But eventually everything came together. Their victory, in addition to their publicity, was almost unbelievably too much to bear, but they began believing. See, much better. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. We do apologize again for releasing the video this late, but we still have a few days left, and I'm sure that this would be of some benefit to you if you just have a quick browse through before the exam date. All right, and of course, please like the video, subscribe to our channel here on YouTube, like our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram, and we look forward to continuing to serve you. And we really do hope that all of you do the best that you possibly can in your SEA exam. All right, take care for now, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Good evening. Assalamu alaikum.